Hello, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Let's see. Here we go. What happened on comments? Here we go. Okay. Hey, I'm back again tonight to finish part 2 of Who Are the Indigo People, and 30,000 Indigos Need to Activate. So I'm just gonna hang out for a little bit till see if anybody comes in the room. Maybe not, because I'm one of them channels nobody finds. I'm also live on TikTok and I'm live on YouTube. Welcome, 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 welcome. So I'm just Palo Santoing the room. Hello, welcome, welcome. Ooh, that's a lot of smoke. I went out to a place today where I had to clear my energy, so I'm not surprised that there's a lot of smoke right now. I don't know if you can hear me, but welcome into the room. Tonight, I am going to be completing the second part that we started last night. We did Who Are the Indigo People Part 1. So tonight we're doing the remainder, Who Are the Indigo People Part 2. And this is from the website sunfell.com, sunfell.com. If you didn't see the live last night, you can go over to that website and check it out. I'm going to give you a little bit of background. I'm an Indigo. My name is Sydney. I'm also an Indigo coach. For those of you that don't know me, where are my glasses, child? Okay, there they go. Just let me know if you can hear me. For those of you that don't know me, I am a coach and I help Indigos do what they come here to do. I guide them to what it is that they said that they were coming on this planet to do. So I am streaming live tonight on TikTok and on my YouTube channel, which is the indigoroom.org. Yes, the Metropolitan Opera. I used to work there. I love that place. Anyway, so tonight what we're going to be talking about is who are the Indigo people? Why are they here? Are you an Indigo? Do you know if you're an Indigo? Do you have Indigo children, perhaps? Or, maybe your mama or your daddy was an Indigo and didn't know it. There's a lot of people who are Indigos and don't even realize that they're Indigos and don't know what an Indigo is. So last night we started this series about who the Indigo people are and why I am using the sunfell.com website is because this website is where I went to confirm what I was told in 2007 about being an Indigo. I didn't even know what an Indigo was. Had no idea. I was sort of kind of spiritual. I had just completed becoming a shaman in 2003. And so when I found out that I was an Indigo, it was 4 years later in 2007. And I was confused. I didn't understand it. It didn't make sense to me because, all that woo-woo stuff I was told, was not a good thing. You don't delve into any of that. I was raised a Jehovah's Witness. And, if you know anything about Jehovah's Witnesses, they don't play with that kind of stuff. You can't even do yoga or meditate. Okay. But so anyway, during the meditation, I had received like this weird vision. That's the only way I can explain it. And it's not weird anymore, but it was weird to me in 2007. I didn't quite understand what was going on. And I received a lot of information and I downloaded it and wrote it down and was told to look it up on the internet and see if any of the things that I received was true, which I did. And lo and behold, a lot of the things that I received in that download turned out to be true. I never heard of an indigo before, so I didn't know what the hell was going on. Anyway, I started doing some more research, and I came upon this website called sunfell.com, and the woman's name is Lori A. Johnson. And she was writing from her perspective of being an indigo and having interactions with other indigos. I didn't know any of them, didn't know any indigos. There were never any indigos around me that I knew of or became aware of, or that knew that they were indigos. So when I looked at this website, I was like, oh my God, that's me. She's describing me, right? And I tried to reach out to her, tried to find her, couldn't. Her last entry on this website was March 30th, 2003. I found her in 2007. Guess what? The website is still up and still available so that you who are coming into this room can go check it out yourself and see if it resonates with you. The reason why I've been over the years periodically looking for her. Periodically, I've been looking for her. Just, random. I'll wake up one day and go, let me go see if I can find Lori Johnson. Can't find her. She doesn't answer the emails. I can't find her on LinkedIn. I can't find her anywhere. And I am Inspector Gadget. That's what my friends call me. I'm an investigator. I'll be digging on things that interest me anyway. And can't find her. She doesn't answer her emails, nothing. Okay, so fast forward, here we are in 2024. The website is still up, still being maintained by someone. You still have to pay for a website, unless you just pay for it forever. I don't know. It's hosted on her computer. I don't know. But I don't know how long this website's going to be up. So I took it upon myself. I feel like, in my feeling, it feels like she left this website as a way for people who are confused or don't understand their indigo energy to be able to have some place to start. So over the years, I have been working with a lot of different indigos, and I always send them here. And if any of this information resonates with them, then they can start doing the process and see if they truly are an indigo. Indigos are on the planet. They're here. They've been here, coming here for centuries and eons. Not everybody is an indigo. Not all star seeds are indigos. You are the chosen because you chose to come here. You're very unique individuals. And if you don't know that, I'm here to tell you. So one of the things that I have, one of the things that I'm tasked with is finding indigos, gathering them up, and bringing you all together. So this is a great place for you to start. Okay? So if you are new to my channel or if you're new to my page, that's what I talk about. I talk about other things. I share other stuff. Like I said, I'm a shaman. I've been a shaman since 2003. I am a spiritual teacher. I am a guide. I'm a helper. I'm a healer. I also am a indigo as well. And I've known that I've been an indigo since 2007. And it was told and then confirmed. So indigos have a blue aura that is a dark blue aura and has often been mistaken for a dark aura in the sense that your energy is dark. Because some people don't know what they're talking about when it comes to indigos, just saying. So, and there's a lot of people that don't know what they're talking about with regards to spirituality, and they're fraudsters, and sometimes you are following them when you really should be following yourself. You don't have to follow me. You don't have to listen to me. That's not the whole point of me bringing this information to you. The point of me bringing this information to you is so that you can see if it resonates with you. Check your own inner guidance. I tell all of my clients and students to make sure they trust their intuition above all things before you listen to me. Because who am I? Well, I know who I am. You don't know who I am, but I know who I am. Okay, so we're going to get started with the reading. And where we left off last night was some guidance. Well, we left off on the Indigo generations. So I'm going to start with that and then keep going with some guidance from an Indigo elder. I don't know if I can't show the web page here because I don't know what I'm doing on TikTok yet. I'm still trying to figure TikTok out, but I know how to do it on YouTube. So I'm going to add this onto my YouTube page. There we go. And I'm just going to start. Oh, let me go back to Indigo generations. So Indigos are here. There are five different categories of Indigos. I'm between an alpha and a beta. So I have I'm an older Indigo from, as you can see, I'm not a young spring chicken, but I mean, kinda, I guess. But I'm an older Indigo, but I'm also a beta. So I'm in the middle. I have both frequencies. And the Indigos that I help are all ranges, from alpha to the deltas, right? So it goes from, there's 5 different frequencies of Indigos. We have 5 of them that are on the planet right now. You are all over the planet. And my job is to help you, is to guide you. So we're going to start with the Indigo generations first, and then we'll go back into the Elder Indigo guidance. If you just joined the live, welcome. I am Sydney. I'm an Indigo, and I'm here to help Indigos. That's it. That's all. That's all I got to do. That's my job on planet Earth. The people of the Indigo Ray, and we're reading from sunfell.com. So if you go to sunfell.com and click on the Indigo files, and this website, I don't know how long it's going to be up. It stopped, the person that created it stopped uploading information on it. The last entry on it was March 30th, 2003. This website has been up for 21 years. And nobody's touched it since. The people of the Indigo Ray, or the blue ones, have been on this planet for a while, but have not manifested in such great numbers for a very long time. There's always been a random sprinkling of Indigos in the population in all generations, but these people are fairly rare before the final third of the 20th century. And Indigos have been with us since the dawn of time. Many have contributed much to our advancement. Some were famous, many were not. All are unique and gifted. All. So when you hear people saying, oh, I'm clairaudient, or I'm clairvoyant, or I'm clear this, or, I'm a healer, or I'm a this, you, as an Indigo, are all of those things. Literally. Y'all don't really know. You're all of it. But some of your gifts are more pronounced than others. And this year, they started coming, your gifts started coming online 2023. Some of you may have felt that. Some of you may have all of a sudden been able to do things you weren't able to do before. And more are coming online this year. But gifts started manifesting themselves last year, 2023. The current heavy surge of indigo arrivals have manifested in 5 distinct and discernible decants or generations of 1 decade each. Each generation has distinguishing characteristics, auric veils, and awakening Saturn's return years. I have listed them here for clarity. You may have heard of indigo children. Well, those indigo children are now indigo adults. And some of them are aware of their gifts. Some of them are not. Some of them have been diagnosed with ADD and ADHD. And that is because many of the people who were diagnosing these younger indigos didn't understand their energy, didn't understand them. And as you read sumfell.com and as you read the indigo files, you'll understand why you as yourself may have had some sort of learning disabilities or couldn't understand. You're not dumb. You're not dumb. You just learn very differently because you're indigos. Okay. So we have generation 1, which are alphas. And generation 1 were born between 1958 and 1968. They're born with blue, green, violet overlays, camouflage with tans. Saturn's return awakening years for this generation was 1986 to 1996 at the age of 28 each year. This generation is now in their post-awakening years and is in the process of rediscovering and recovering their gifts. Some are currently transiting into their octarine phase. Now, this time frame is the time frames that I'm giving, and the time frames that Lori was giving us are not concrete. They're not set in stone. I just recently had a indigo reach out to me on my channel on YouTube, and she was born in 1948. So there are indigos that are older than that were born before 1958 and are still on the planet. They are the elder indigos, but they are like scouts, and they came here to lay the groundwork for the rest of us because there was a huge millions of us started showing up on the planet, being born, incarnated into these physical bodies between 1968 and 2008. After that, indigos are still being born, but they're not as many as the ones that are here right now on the planet. So we have the alpha generation, that's number 1. Those are the first ones that anybody really when people were starting to track them here. That's when, other, I guess you want to say medical or science started tracking these people with these auras, these dark blue auras started showing up on the planet. Who are you? What are you doing here? Why did you come here? Did you come here to create havoc? No, we came here to shake things up and help the planet ascend. That's what indigos are here to do. So generation 2, it's the second one. That's the one that I'm between alpha and the beta. I'm considered an indigo elder. Born between 1968 and 1978. This generation also came in with the blue, green, violet overlay, but without the tan camouflage. This is on your aura, right? And if you go back to my YouTube channel, you could listen to what we discussed yesterday, but those overlays were protective shields for us coming into this realm, this 3D realm called planet Earth, where we live. So we have the beta 2, the generation 2, which is beta, born between 1968 and 1978. This generation also came in with the blue-green violet overlay, but without the tan camouflage. The Saturn's return awakening years for this generation were 1996 to 2006. This generation is also post-awakening. So some betas and alphas are still sleeping. They need to be, woken up. So that's what I'm here to do. Shake y'all up, awake. Generation 3, which is the Gamma. Those Indigos were born here between 1978 and 1988. Here is the first generation of minimally overlaid Indigos. That means their protective shield is not really there. Not as much as Generation 1 and Generation 2. If they have an overlay at all, it is generally violet with some appearances of crystal. So this is where people are getting the crystal children, right? The idea that there's a crystal children. But that is the appearance of the overlay on some of the Indigos. This is where some of the earliest manifestations of apparent ADD and ADHD in Indigo children began, allegedly. Saturn's return awakening for this generation will be from 2006 to 2016, which has already happened. Then we have Generation 4, which are Deltas, and that is from 1988 to 1998. And this is the first of the pure Indigos. That means that they have no overlays on their aura. They are completely dark blue. And if you ever want to see what the color of indigo is, it happens to be what signifies your third eye, your sixth chakra. Most Indigos, the majority of you who are born between this time, your third eye was already open. You don't even have to crack it open. It was already open to begin with when you got here. And if you look at the sunset, right at sunset, right when the sun is going down and right before it switches over to night, that's the color of indigo. That is also indicative of like the cusp between your natural and your spiritual. It's when, you are coming from the daylight into darkness, right? And when you are looking at the spirituality, a lot of it is unknown to you, right? It's unknown. So it's like you have the best of both worlds as an indigo. Your aura is from the sixth chakra right here. That's what you're starting out with. And when you finally align your energies, when you finally allow everything to click in, you'll be able to have the best of both, right? Physical as well as the spiritual. And you can be so spiritually minded that you're no earthly good, and you can be so physically minded that you're not spiritually good. So there's a balance that indigos have innately, but oftentimes it's been beaten out of us. But we have an innate way of being able to operate here in the physical as well as the spiritual. That's why we chose to come to help this planet ascend. That's why we're here. So many of you have a particular thing that you came here to do, and nobody's saying, hey, wake up. Don't you remember you came here, you decided that you were going to do this thing? Don't you remember you said you were coming here to do this thing? Don't you remember when you said you were going to be this thing? So many of you are now starting to get your spiritual gifts coming online, and you're like, what the hell? What's going on? I don't even understand why I have this ability all of a sudden. It's like, you're getting superpowers. You're getting your superpowers. So we have, again, getting back to Generation 4, which are the Deltas. And their overlay is pretty much, they don't have one. So their auras are really the dark blue auras. And these are the wildest of the apparent ADD, ADHD group. The guidance states that it is possible that this is the rapid fire overstimulation by public media of this time acting on the crystal overlay that is driving the indigo child to distraction. It's also driving some indigo adults to distraction because they don't understand what the hell is going on right now with them. Suggestions of the use of slower rhythms and deep, warm colors in the environment rather than the use of drugs may stop these oscillations that make them ping off the walls and give the crystal octarine element in their overlays something to use for grounding. I also have a video on my channel and on my YouTube channel and on this page about grounding, how to ground. You can check out my page and go check that out. But it's really important for all indigos to do grounding, and you can do grounding right when you're walking. If you're walking to the grocery store, you simply will need a stick, a walking stick, stick it in the ground. Or if you want to, you can go stand next to a tree, right? You don't want to be embarrassed. You feel like, oh my God, I don't want to do that. Go stand next to a tree. Just lean back on the tree. Close your eyes for a minute. If you can't close your eyes, just in that moment, feel the connection with Mother Earth and the tree, Mother Earth and the tree. You don't have to even close your eyes. You can do that in a park. You could just stand next to a tree. Who cares what anybody says to you? Who cares who sees you? I know some of you are very self-conscious, but just go stand next to a tree. Not during a rainstorm, okay? Or, during lightning or strikes, but just go stand next to a tree and you'll start to feel that grounding energy. So you can do that on occasion. You could do that once a week. You could do it. I suggest you do it at least weekly, even in the winter, even if you have a stick. I have a stick that I get and a branch that I took off a tree. I'm really tall, but it's long enough for me to put it into the ground while I'm walking. And that is a way for you to ground. Okay. This will also soothe the indigo child when he or she is overstimulated by the noisy, flashy environment. It will also make their transition into adolescence smoother. This group will have the hardest puberty and, if not carefully monitored, the highest drug, alcohol, and suicide rate of all the cohorts. For this group, Saturn's return awakening will be from 2016 to 2026. It's really important for elder indigos to really get it together now and start helping the younger ones. That's why you came here in the first place. So stop sitting on your couch and waiting for, I don't know what you're waiting for. Okay. I know I was waiting for a minute. I was waiting for a sign or whatever. You know what your mission is. You came here to help others. So get to getting. Okay. Generation 5, which is the Omega. And those are the last wave of indigos that showed up. So we have Generation 5 Omega, which is 1998 to 2008. And according to what she says here is, according to my guidance, this will be the last decade of pure indigos and the end of the major cohorts. So the wave, the millions, the thousands, well, it was, about millions that came here. I think the number is between 1 and 2 million of us that are here. According to her guidance, this will be the last decade of pure indigos and the end of the major cohorts. They may have as many difficulties in acclimatizing themselves to the environment as the Delta generation, and depending upon the local conditions, may have an extremely difficult childhood. Many of these indigos will be born of earlier indigos I have two Indigo sons, and they were born between they're Delta Indigos. Many of these Indigos will be born of earlier Indigos, and some will be reincarnations of Alpha and Beta generation Indigos who chose to leave early. And depending upon local conditions, this generation will experience its Saturn's return awakening from 2026 to 2036. And the reason why she says, depending on local conditions, because there's an upheaval happening, right, on the planet. So that time frame is dependent on local conditions, how things are gonna turn out. Other elements may speed up or back off the timetable. The number of people of the indigo ray will drop off sharply during this generation. They will still be born, but not as many. So between 1958 and 2008, we had a lot. We were just coming in, boom, 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 boom. I know one day I was in Spain, and this was before I even found out I was an Indigo. Actually, this was in 2003. I was in Spain, and this was during the blackout on the East Coast, and I was out by the water. Actually, I was in, what's the island? What's the island called? Ibiza. I was in Ibiza. That's where I was. And I was out on the deck. This was during the daytime in the, near the beach. And I saw waves of blue, dark blue, I don't even know, spheres coming in. They were just coming into the planet, coming. I didn't know what that was. I don't know, and it wouldn't stop. They were just coming in everywhere, dropping into the ocean, they would just drop it. I came back home to the United States, still kept doing it. It lasted like almost a week, and then it stopped. So I don't know if that was the last wave coming in of Indigos at that time, but I saw what I saw. That's all I got to say. So if you are a Beta generation Indigo on the verge of or are presently in the midst of your Saturn's return period, we are looking at sunfeld.com, written by Lori A. Johnson. This guidance should help you. It is very rare to see a fully awakened person under the age of 30. For Indigos, this difficult time serves to strip away the overlays and camouflage and reveal to them their true potential and psychic abilities. The transitory period for an Indigo is generally longer than that of a normal person, sometimes up to 3 years. Indigos may feel totally naked without their overlays, and if they do not understand what is happening to them, they may panic and think they're going mad. Because I didn't know. Okay? I had no idea what was happening to me, but I was going crazy until I started getting those downloads, and I said, okay, I need to write this information down. And I was told to look up some of this information and found out that it was true. My father at the time said, "You're a what?" Well, they always called me wacko in the family, but now I have a reason to be. Careful direction, close peer contact, and compassionate guidance is essential during these vulnerable times. You will make it, and wonders will await you on the other side of this passage. I have to say that is true. When I first read this information in 2007, I was like, even though all of the information that I was reading was me. It resonated with me so profoundly that I was crying. I was like, oh my God, she understands me. How does that, how does she know? Once you get through understanding the truth of who you are, what does await you on the other side will astound you and help you in ways that you can't even imagine right now. So you will make it. You will. There's a note that says these dates and generations are not set in stone. As I said to you at the beginning of this live, if you were born before alpha, and that doesn't, if you were born before what we're calling the alpha stage, that doesn't diminish your status at all. I do know some alpha indigos now. I have met them who are on the planet, and they were born before 1958, and they are indeed indigos. There were just fewer of you around. There will always be indigos in the population, but sometimes there are more than there are other times. This data was modified and with new information from guidance on May 12th, 2002. So again, this website, you need to go check it out, sunfeld.com. Let me put it in the comments, because I don't know how long this website is going to be up and how long this information is going to be up. So if you found this live, you didn't find it by accident. You found it for a reason, and you should go check out this website and read the information and see if it resonates with you. I have made several videos and several attempts to reach out to the owner of the website. I don't know how this website is staying up for 21 years and hasn't had a entry in it since then. Well, I kind of know. I kind of feel why it's like that. But yeah, it hasn't had any new entries in it since 2003. So I'm going to go back now to the guidance from an Indigo elder, and I'm going to go over that information. And this is some guidance from an elder Indigo, and she's calling herself that. And there's another website that she was connecting with at the time, and that website is gone. Those people, when you click on the link for, it's called Aura Colors. When you click on the link for that, you get nothing. That website is dead and gone. So this website is still up. 21 years. 21 years. This website is being maintained by someone for a reason. And if you are joining my live and you are resonating with this information, then you need to go check this out, because I don't know when this website is going to come down. I can't find Lori A. Johnson. I don't know where she is. I don't know if she's still on the planet. I have no idea. But her website is still here. So I feel like her website is here for a reason. And it's to help us all to connect with each other. We have a Discord for Indigos. And you can also reach out by clicking my link in my profile. That'll take you to the Discord. It will also give you other information. You can get to sunfeld.com from there. You can grab my Indigo Merkaba activation ebook. You can find out about me. It's all about me. I've been around on these internet streets since 2007. I've had my own podcast since 2007. I'm not doing this for the money, obviously, because I have 567 subscribers on my YouTube channel. And you can see here, I don't have a lot of subscribers on here, but I keep putting out this information. Why? Because that's why I came here. And hopefully, the goal is, not hopefully, but the goal is to find you all and help you connect with each other, so that you're not feeling so lonely and you're not feeling so left out and you're not feeling like, why did you come here? What am I supposed to be doing? and to help guide and show you how to protect your energy, how to activate your Merkaba vehicle, how to contact and reach your guides. Do you know that you have an entire spiritual team that works on your behalf? You, the one of you, right, has a team. You have a team that's working on your behalf. You, the one person, individual, feeling like, nobody understands you, you have an entire spiritual team. You. When I found that out, I was like, wait, what? You're ancient beings? You've been here before? You've done a lot of this before? Some of you are having deja vu moments and you're going, what was that? Right? You may have bumped into someone that you've known in another lifetime, in another time frame, or feels like another time frame. All time is now. Everything's happening right now. It may feel to you like it's a different time frame, but you really do have a connection with that person. Some of the connections are not that great. I ain't gonna lie. Some of them you got to get rid of in this time frame. I will share with you how to do that. There is a technique where you can dissolve. Well, let me finish this and then I'll tell you. I'll tell you the technique that you can dissolve some of the false selves that you created over eons. Okay? It's like it is like you have this skin that you slipped into, right? And it has these layers of vibrations. And if you don't know how to clear out those layers of vibrations, you will still keep doing the same things that you did before. Maybe last time you came here, you didn't believe you were an indigo. Somebody told you and, you didn't get it, or it's just a lot. I'll go over that in a minute. But anyway, we're going to read some guidance from an indigo elder. This is on sunfelt.com. And I put the website in the comments. I should pin that comment, no? Yeah. That's not like anybody's coming in here. I just got to keep staying on task. Okay, how do I pin the daggone comment? And just keep trying to reach out to all of you. I guess I'll just leave it there for now. It's not moving. So getting back to this website that Laurier Johnson has, again, she has links to other websites to, give context in her writings, and those websites are gone. They don't exist. Hers does. Hasn't gone anywhere. At this writing, most of the indigos are children. When she was writing this in 2003, although there are a few indigos who came as forerunners years ago. I am one of them, an alpha generation indigo born in 1960. Because I really had no peer group, my childhood was not very pleasant. But the incoming group of Delta and Omega generations needed some elders to show them that they can survive and thrive, and my own survival and success should give them encouragement. I'm writing this to tell indigo youngsters and indigos of all ages that it does get better, to be patient, and there are indigo adults around to help. Consider us the forward scouts who arrived early to report on the local conditions and cheer the youngsters on, as well as guide and counsel them. The words used to describe indigos include honest, aware, intuitive, psychic, independent, fearless, strong-willed, and sensitive. Indigos are old souls who know who they are and where they've come from. being an old soul in a youth-oriented world. Oh, let me just go back a little bit. When it's describing the indigo characteristics, indigos are brutally honest sometimes. Sometimes I get in trouble for being too honest. I have to hold my tongue. And people take it as being abrasive. And it's not. I'm not being abrasive. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm just honest. Okay? And we're highly aware, highly intuitive. Remember when I said at the beginning of this live that indigos are all of the things, all of it. So, you know, you have people that say, "Oh, I'm this, I'm clairaudient, or I'm a star seed, I'm a crystal, I'm a light worker, I'm a light bearer, I'm a this, I'm a." Indigos are all of those things, everything. That's why it feels so wicky wacky sometimes, because you might feel like you're all over the place. Oh, let me blow out this candle before I set my house on fire. You also have a huge connection with Mother Earth, even if you live in the city. You tend to not want to be around a lot of people, crowds kind of wig you out. And that didn't start to really mess with me, I think, until I started moving into my 30s. But I was always like a homebody. I was always someone who was, you know, not around a lot of people. I like my own company. Most indigos do. They like their own company. They can putz around for hours, but sometimes you feel lonely. That's because you're not connected with your other indigo peer group. And you're very highly intuitive. When you say something, usually comes to pass. When you feel a thing, it usually is right. 9 times out of 10, you're right. So if you are not understanding, and you know, people are telling you you're crazy, you're not crazy. Or people are saying you're too sensitive, you're not. Or people are saying that, you know, you are not of the light, you are. You have a darker aura, which resonates with your 6th chakra, but the color of your aura is not meaning that you're not of the light. You are. You're from the 12th dimension. You're a spiritual being having human physical experiences, and you came here to help the planet of sun. That's the bottom line. You're psychic. A lot of times people don't want to admit it. They're like, "No, I'm not psychic." I was like, "Okay, I know you are." Like I usually can zero in on an indigo fairly quickly once I meet you and once I talk to you. I can tell you if you are or not. I'm not going to tell you, though. That's something that you have to figure out yourself. Like, I don't go around saying, "Oh, you're an indigo. Oh, you're an indigo," or "You're not an indigo." That's not for me to say. It's not my job. It's your job. It's your job to connect with the truth of who you really are. It's not for me to tell you that you're an indigo. However, if you read some of this information and it all resonates with you, the majority of it, you might be an indigo. So you can't come to me and say, "Well, Sydney, am I an indigo?" I don't know. Well, I do, but I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to say, "Yeah, you're an indigo." That's up to you to figure that out. And when somebody tells you that you are, you have to figure that out. Like, you can't believe anything that anybody's telling you. You can't believe what I'm telling you because you don't know me. Not yet. But you have to trust your own intuition. You have to trust your own intuition. Listen, I would have tons and tons and tons and tons of followers if I was not looking for indigos. Tons. If I wasn't looking for indigos, I would have tons of followers. But I'm only looking for a specific energy frequency. That's it. That's why I came to the planet, and that's what I'm doing now. I did not want to do it. I did not want to do it. I came to this point kicking and screaming. You probably will too. Anyway, you're fearless. Like, you will do stuff that other people look at you and go, yeah, she's crazy. Because you're an indigo. You will do things that are kind of fearless to you. And you're strong-willed, very sensitive. You may cry at the drop of a hat. And you may have learned to not be so sensitive, because we live in a world where sensitivity is frowned upon. So you may have put up walls upon walls upon walls upon walls so that nobody gets to know the truth of who you really are. And I'm here to help you break those walls down so that you can use your spiritual powers that are coming online, your spiritual abilities that are coming online, that have been coming online since last year, 2023. And you're an old soul. And when I mean by that, you're an old soul, that indigos are old souls, I'm saying that you have been here before. You have been here probably numerous times before. And you know who you are, but some of you are hiding. So it's now time for you to come out of hiding. So being an old soul in a youth-oriented world is difficult, to put it lightly. Parents expect their kids to behave like kids, and when they do not, this frightens them. I think I was one of those kids that used to frighten my parents, because I would say stuff that was just, for that time frame from when I was born, yeah, they were very religious, strict parents. So to have some kid like me roll up, I used to look at them and go, I don't even know these people. Who are they? And I used to get in trouble because I would be like, well, where are my parents? Who are you people? Who are you? Where's my real mother and father? Whoo, child. Okay. So precocious children can be real challenging to parents expecting a tabula rasa, a child who should be a blank slate, ready for the parents to etch their personal values and traditions upon them. When an old soul, complete with accessible memories, experience, and morals and values built up over hundreds of thousands of years, arrives, instead, many parents react like they've got a changeling in their midst. So when you showed up on the scene, okay, and I was the firstborn, when I showed up on the scene, I was unlike any other kid they've ever seen. And I know it scared the daylights out of them. So they treated me just like that. In some ways, they do have a changeling, but an indigo youngster needs love and care just like normal kids do, and a whole lot more patience and understanding. We are not being deliberately willful and difficult. It's just that we wish that our bodies matured faster. You'll hear a lot of but whens and why from indigo kids. Some parents react by being in fearful awe of their child, and letting him or her walk all over them. Don't. Others react by drugging them or applying them with cultural drugs of TV and video games. Both approaches guarantee failure to thrive and even survive in this culture. The soul might be old, but it is still subject to the animal impulses of the untamed young body. So again, as an indigo, naturally, we have the ability to traverse both the spiritual plane and the physical plane. But when we're born, right, we're not acclimated yet to this physical reality. We're still zooming, right? We're still trying to figure out what the hell, where are we? Where, like I used to say to my parents, who are you people? Who are you? Where's my mother and father, right? And being in the alpha and the beta between both, I had to figure out and navigate. And there was nobody to tell me anything. So I kept a lot of stuff that was happening to me on the spiritual plane to myself, because my family were Jehovah's Witnesses, and you don't have this type of thing happening. You can't be having psychic abilities and be a good Jehovah's Witness, that, or be a good Christian. That is not okay. So there was this dichotomy that was happening inside of me, right? I kind of knew stuff, and then I'm trying to adjust to being a physical being in this realm. So having an indigo child can be challenging if you don't understand what is actually happening. Like when my own children were born, both are indigos, they were wide awake, eyes wide open, right? And I'm going, who are these people? Who are these people? Like, boom, wide awake. And they knew things, they can remember things. They were, again, speaking, not speaking, but reading and writing way before their peer group. And I didn't understand myself because nobody helped me to understand that I was an indigo. But I knew something was different about these young men that I had, these two souls that I brought into, that chose me to come into this realm through. Later on, I found out, after finding out about my own indigo challenges, that they were indigos. So some of us indigos do have indigo children as well. Not all. Anyway, gentle but firm discipline is required, and understanding that the child is still a minor must be introduced and lovingly enforced. This was how I was raised. I remember from the tender age of 8 or 9, chomping at the bit to be old enough to do my own things, buy my own books, take myself places, and be free of the restrictions of the parental household. But parents, while we are in your care and until all the proper cognitive connections are made biologically and imprinted socially, you must set firm boundaries for us. We need them. We have the potentially lethal combination of ancient memories and unfinished, impulsive young minds. You are the safety guard. The suicide impulse is high in teen indigos. That is true. Well, it was true for me. Even moving into adulthood several times. I didn't do it, but I wanted to. And many of my own peer group were lost because of lack of understanding of our needs. I suffered from it too. Somehow I made it. Yes, this sounds scary, but consider it prudent warning. We'll impulsively punch out if our impatient, immature minds cannot yet grasp the big picture. Again, you are the safety guard. Love us, listen to us, give us limits, and treat us like people. Treat us like people we will become, not the impulsive brats we sometimes seem to be. And please answer our questions honestly. We'll ask thousands. Child, I used to drive my parents insane with all the questions. I used to get thumped in the back of my head because I was asking so many questions. Especially being a Jehovah's Witness, I used to ask my father, "Are we Hebrews?" Because what you're telling me is that we're the chosen people, right? So if we're the chosen people, we must be Hebrews, right? Are we from Israel? Because, like a 5 and 6, you got to make it make sense to me because this is not making sense. You telling me in this Bible here, right? When I read the Bible, it says that the chosen people are the Hebrews. So are we Hebrew? And they would be like, no, we're not Hebrews. Okay, so how is Jehovah's Witnesses going to be the ones that are saved? How are they the holy people? How are they chosen? My father could never answer me. He would just smack me in the back of my head and tell me to be quiet. But I never got an answer. Nobody could ever answer me at 5 and 6 years old. I'm asking that question. Are we Hebrews? Somebody got to know. Somebody needs to answer my question. Are we Hebrews? All indigos are aware that they are very different from the rest of the people in this world. Oh, I skipped a paragraph. Sorry. Hold on a second. There we go. Indigos of all ages are frustrated by the shallowness of society at large because they like to dig deeply into things that interest them. If TLC or the Discovery Channel runs an in-depth series of documentaries on a subject the indigo is interested in, they are in hog heaven. That is true. I got to be interested though. Otherwise, I'm not watching TV. If it's, I'm not just watching random television shows. I have to have an interest in it. So, but heaven forbid if the subject is superficially approached or lightly referred to, because indigos want to know everything. And right now, and I say thank God and the Cold War for the internet. So it says, but heaven forbid if the subject is superficially approached or lightly referred to. Yeah. All indigos are aware that they are very different from the rest of the people in this world. Depending on the influences around them, this can be positive or negative. Positively influenced indigos can grow their gifts more easily in an encouraging atmosphere. Negatively encouraged indigos are more of a battle, which can result in a heavy buildup of pent-up rage. This rage has to be adequately discharged and grounded in order for the indigo to get in touch with his or her innate gifts. Loud noise and excessive visual stimuli can be very taxing on our sensitive bodies, and we can react in negative ways, especially as youngsters. Things today are much louder and brighter and flashier than when I was a child. And just going out to do my normal shopping can be almost physically painful for me, even with my shields. To an unshielded indigo child, this racket can be agonizing and meltdowns can be the result. I want to scream right along with an overstimulated child sometimes. Much of this noise and flash is a result of several decades of close psychological observation by advertisers of kids and what stimulates them. They deliberately design consumer items that whip the poor kids into a gimme frenzy by bombarding them with colors and sounds and placing these things on the level of the targeted kids. These advertisers know all your kids' hot buttons and press them relentlessly. Do them a favor and keep the stereo turned down, the TV turned off, and loud colors to a minimum. Take them to the park instead of to the bright and noisy store or theater or restaurant. Make sure that your indigo youngster has a quiet and pretty place to daydream undisturbed. They will thank you. So I just want to add also that there's a reason why there's overstimulation in this 3D realm that we live in, that we're here to help ascend. Because there are energies here, there are people here or energies here. I like to say energies instead of people, that know the truth of who you are and why you chose to come here. Like, they see your energy before you even recognize the fact that you're an indigo. They know it. And these bright lights and bright colors and all of the things that flashing stimuli to keep us like, oh, look at this little shiny thing here. Look at this. Look at that. Look at this. Da, 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 is deliberate. It's deliberate to keep you from understanding your true nature. So if you're so focus on all the bright lights and, the entertainment and all this stuff on the outside, I can't say trust me because you don't know me, but all of the stuff that's on the outside, right? When are you going to have time to sit down and focus and figure out if you are actually an indigo, who you are, what you came for? So if I keep you distracted, I keep you entertained. Look up the word entertainment. If I keep you entertained and focused on everything outside of you, you will never take a moment to step inside of you and see the truth of who you really are, which is an indigo. So if I can this is why I only have 567 subscribers, because I'm looking for specific indigos. I'm looking for specific energy frequencies. 567 subscribers on my YouTube channel, and I've been doing YouTube for years. My channel was growing at one point, and then it was completely stopped because I started really paying attention and focusing on indigos only. The more I focused on indigos, the less my channel grew. My content, how I present the content, stays the same. So every time we talk about indigos, they're going, oh, so she's trying to get the way changes awake. She's trying to wake up the crew. We've been sleeping for a long time. We've not been awakened for a long time. It's time for y'all to snap out of it, especially the indigo elders that are rolling around here. Where are y'all? You need to help the younger ones step into the truth of who they are, step into their indigo power, step into their ancient indigo power, and get crack-a-lackin' so that we can help this planet and we can help each other. Anyway, I digress. Many older indigos, including myself, have battled with depression, and this may plague some younger indigos as well. This depression is usually in the form of seasonal affective disorder rather than the chemical imbalance sort of depression. All indigo generations are very sensitive to light and need lots of full spectrum light in order to function at their highest level. Sunshine is good too, but take care to protect your skin with skin sunscreen. Some simple, wholesome food is best for indigo bodies. The simpler and closer to the original form the food is, the better. It is for their growing bodies. Heavily processed, manufactured, made foods like processed cheese and meats and convenience foods are not good for their well-being, nor are fast foods. Home cooking is good for the body and soul and cultivates patience and understanding of working order. The proper preparation for food to include the infusion of the blessing vibrations is essential. If it is possible to cultivate a vegetable garden, no matter how small, do so, especially if your indigo is a youngster. This will instill within them the understanding and reverence for food from seed to feed. Indigos like to make up their own rules. That's true. And systems as they go along. They have an innate feel for the natural order of things, but to many people, this order looks like a heck of a lot like total chaos. Perhaps it is in some way, but to the indigo creating this system, it is holographic and makes perfect sense to them. Indigos aren't deliberately messy and cluttered, but they really dislike having to disassemble carefully created stacks of items or put away materials that they may need in the construction of their ideas and projects. I have stacks. I have stacks. I know where my stacks are, though. I know what's over there. Okay? It's not filthy. It's just a little cluttered. Indigos indigos of all ages are also great multitaskers. This may be mistaken for attention deficit because to the observer, it appears that the indigo begins many things and then bounces randomly from one thing to another, leaving them unfinished. But if you look at it from a holographic point of view, you will see that all of these little projects are related in sometimes extremely obscure ways, and that all of them are thought objects and experiments in some line of inquiry the indigo is exploring. How true is that? If you're an indigo, they probably have that experience too. When the thought or project is concluded, that's how I'm like that. When the thought or project is concluded and the inquiry answered to the indigo's satisfaction, all the components will be complete to the point where their usefulness and contribution to the whole ends. It is a whole new way of thinking. We tend to think in lightning bolts and bursts. When indigo kids are ready, they like me will want to fly the coop at the first opportunity. I left my house as soon as I was humanly possible able to do so. My son left the house at 18. My other son left the house, how old was he? I think, well, he left school when he was 16. I let him leave school when he was 16. Because I kind of understood the nature of them. I did not know we were all indigos, but I understood them in a way. You know, I allowed them to be who they were. They may not feel like that, but that's the truth. When indigo kids, they want to fly the coop. I bailed at 19 and never looked back. I still love my family, but I must be independent. Do not let this sadden you, parents. It's simply that waiting 18 years to do things you were born knowing had to be done can be chafing. Please be patient with our impatience and understanding when we make the inevitable errors. Make sure that you teach your kids basic life skills like cooking, housekeeping, car maintenance, budgeting, and financial management. I didn't even realize I was doing that with my kids, but I did do that. I haven't read this. This is a long time that I haven't reread all of this. But I did teach my sons how to cook. I taught them how to do housekeeping, car maintenance, and because we didn't need a car living in New York City, but I did help them with a lot of life skills. The last is extremely important in this debt-ridden society, financial management. Well, I didn't get that education, so I really wasn't good at that. I'm still kind of, I'm getting better. I cannot emphasize this enough. If your own financial habits are poor, then hire a professional to teach this to your kids. It is the best gift you can give them. This may surprise you, but many indigos may eschew or quit college and either go straight into the workforce or go to vocational school. I did that. Don't let this bother you. We've been there and done that enough to see that the emperor of education is stark naked. Many of us, myself included, will become self-taught, skillful researchers and library divers. When our mature gifts come online, there will be nothing unknown to us. We will have the ability to literally pull what we need to know out of the air. We follow our own threads of learning and often know more about certain subjects than so-called experts. That is true. Okay? But then we doubt ourselves because we say, oh, well, I don't have a degree. If you don't understand the truth of who you are, the truth of knowing that you're an indigo and all that stuff, you will doubt, worry, fear will start to creep in because it's been trained out of us to pay attention to the truth of who you are being an indigo. So I'm trying to retrain y'all to bring it back, right? Wake up. Recognize that you came here on the sixth chakra ray. Sixth ray right here. We follow our own threads of learning and often know more about certain subjects than so-called experts. And why pay thousands of dollars to learn stuff that you can dig up in a library or on the web for free? I often say that, except for, well, I didn't pay for my coding classes. Amazon did that. Make sure that your kid can read and write coherently. Though illiterates will not fare well in this century, don't whine at them about the opportunities we'll miss or the money we won't make. We don't care. We know that the price of those opportunities, we know what the price of those opportunities is and have no desire to sell our souls to some faceless corporation just to have a comfier gilded cage. Many of us will be anti-consumers, turning our noses up at the magpie mentality of the consumer culture. Magpies love collecting lots of pretty, shiny things. I'm so not that. Oh my God. Most indigos will distinguish between their vocation, calling to mission, and their profession, their career. Many will find some sort of way to combine the two and will be very frustrated until they can successfully do so. That was me for many years. When we do, it will seem as if life is on rails. It runs so smoothly. And work will be physical stuff like raking leaves or hauling firewood. They probably will deign to work for someone else, but on their terms, and will quickly vote with their feet if things turn sour for them. Retirement is a myth to them. They innately understand that they will always have some sort of profession, but they do disdain having to grub for money. I can't stand it. I can't even explain to you how that resonates with me, right? And I've been told and called so many things because I will walk out on a job and I don't have another job ready. Sometimes I'll do that. I'll be like, you know what? I can't be here with these people. I can't do it. And that is because there was this schism between what I came here to do and what I found myself doing. And I had to find a way to find the balance between the two. As now, you know, as an elder, I've been able to do that. And so now I'm able to help the younger indigos that I work with and, you know, give them a little bit more direction for themselves so they don't have to go through the crazy nonsense that I went through. And that's why I came here at between alpha and the beta generation. Most indigos will, older indigos have an inherent distaste for big government and interfering systems. And we see that Generation X starting to come online, and a lot of those Generation X folks are indigos. They don't realize it, but a lot of them are. And quietly long for true independence from systems like the economy, money, and salary work. But they also have the common sense and intelligence to make these systems work for them and understand that overt street protesting, violence, and anarchy are not the way to go. Some will even hold their noses and involve themselves personally in these systems, using their mission instincts to quietly change them for the better from within. So you don't always have to be on the outside, right? You got to. There are indigos that are in the system now working to change things, but they may not even realize that that's what they're doing because the mission is innate in you. So I am going to, let's see, how much more do we have to go? Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it here for now and come back to the rest of this tomorrow. We're going to keep going with the rest of this, but I did want to go back to, let me just make a little check mark. We're at where we're going to leave off here. That's where we're leaving off for tomorrow. All right. So I did want to remind you that if you're just coming in, to go to Sunfell, S as in Sam, UNFELL.com. Click on the link Indigo Files. You can find all the information that we started reading yesterday, that we read today, and read it for yourself, please, and see if it resonates with you, if you resonate with it, if you are experiencing these things or have experienced these things. And then get to doing your work, what you came here to do. Get on task. You have a mission as an indigo, ancient, royal. Some of you are royalty. As an ancient being, you have chosen to come here for a reason. You chose to come. You chose to take the journey here. Some of you have done it numerous times. Some of you have come here a few times. Some of you just keep coming back. I don't know. I think this is going to be my last go round with planet Earth. I'm done. When I go back home, I'm staying or go someplace else. There's got to be a different place other than planet Earth. I like it. I love, there's a lot of things here that I love. There's a lot of things here that I do not like. And so, anyway, you have come here many, 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 many times. And on coming in to this realm, right? Every time you come back, there's like a layer that gets put on your lower self. We travel with one of our guides as our lower self. And we travel every time we come into this realm, we bring our lower self with us. And when we first came, the first time that we arrived, everything was cool, everything was lovely. We sort of kind of got the message or understood a little bit. You left, you came back, and there was a layer put on. So it depends on how many times you've come in and incarnated, how many layers you have. And each one of these layers that you've created, you did this. Each one of these layers, right, is now affecting how you move in this timeline. So let's say I have a fear of something. I don't know. Let me think of something. Or lack of money. And I'm experiencing lack and lack and lack and lack and lack, right? And the fear that I feel and the worry and the doubt is not natural. Those are not natural feelings to us as indigos, because when we're home, when we were back home, when we're back in the blue realm, we don't have to worry about money. We don't have to worry about paying bills and all of this stuff. That's why it's so foreign to us. That's why it pisses us off that we have to deal with this crazy money economy thing, right? So when we're back home, we have, if we need something, it's almost immediate. You know, when we think of the thing, then the thing appears, basically. So if you're hungry and it's time for you to eat, you just manifest the food. If you need to meet someone, let's say, and you're my friend, and we're supposed to have a meeting, and I know I'm supposed to meet Sally at 10 a.m. I'm just giving you an example in Earth time, in Earth speak. And I know I'm supposed to meet Sally at 10 a.m. Sally and I are just going to be at the same spot at the same time. We don't even have watches. We don't walk around, looking at our watch and going, oh, I got to meet Sally at 10 a.m. And, I need to write that down so I'll remember. It's just, okay, I know I'm going to meet Sally. Sally knows she's going to meet me. We both appear at the same time. We do what we got to do. Same thing with meetings. Same thing with conferences. If everybody's supposed to be at the conference, it's supposed to be millions of indigos. That's not what we call ourselves back home. But anyway, there's supposed to be a million indigos at this conference. They all show up. The conference goes on. Bop, 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 bop. Everybody does what they got to do. You feed in the person who's supposed to feed who. Like, there's no drama like here. Oh, Joe is late again. Why? It's none of that. There's none of this denser vibration. So we have a very dense vibration here. That's why it's called 3D, right? Dense. It's a very dense vibration. Although it's ascending and the veil is getting thinner. The veil is being thinner and thinner and thinner as we progress forward here on this planet. However, the veil back home there is no veil like that. We don't have this kind of veil. We have a different one, but it's not like this. So when you're frustrated here, it's because innately you understand the truth of intuitively, you remember somewhere deep in the recesses of your thought process that, I'm used to having my things. I'm used to having, stuff just show up for me. So it's not even like you're used to having like all of this magnificent stuff. It's just that it's easier, right? Our vibrations at home are less tamped down than they are here, way less. So you have these layers that you've created. Every time you come, you forget the truth of who you are. And so you move through situations, conditions, people, places, and things to learn about yourself and learn about the environment. And when you do, if you don't remove those layers that you've created in worry, doubt, fear, lack, or whatever, these experiences that you're having, those layers remain. Just because you leave and you go back home and you come back, when you come back, those same layers are still there. They're still present in that next physical body that you are coming in with, because you're coming in with these overlays, so to speak. And each time you do that, there's a new overlay on your lower self. There's another overlay on your lower self. That's what this book talks about. So I was given a way to dissolve the false selves immediately. It's like doing shadow work. Some of you may feel more comfortable doing the shadow work and that's cool. But this technique is so quick. It is so quick that you can dissolve some of these negative layers that are overlaid on your lower self and be free of that negative energy. So let's say that how this happened and how I found out. How I found out was I was ruminating over a situation that I had with a friend. This was several years ago. And I just kept thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. And you're thinking about what you should have said and what I could have said and what I didn't say. And I'm going over it and over and over and over and over and over. And I get a nudge from somebody in my spiritual team, and they said, stop creating another self. I was like, what? Huh? What? What was that? Stop creating another self. I sat down and was like, okay, I don't even understand what that means. You ruminating over a situation and playing it over and over and over in your mind and thinking and overthinking, it starts to create another self. And that's another layer, another shell that is on top of your lower self. And you're doing it. You're creating that lower self, right? You're creating that layer over your lower self. And people talk about our lower selves as if they're not a part of us. But however, we keep putting these overlays on top of them. Right? On top of the lower self. Negative overlays. Ruminating. So when you stop doing that, you catch yourself doing it. And then do the technique, which is dissolving the lower self that was created by me, past, present, and future, because all time is now. I command it with my full soul power that this self that I have created be dissolved now. That's it. Pretty much. Those are the cliff notes, right? Because I'm getting ready to log off. But if you really want to understand how it works, check out the book. If you don't have the $7, that's fine. Just email me, I'll send it to you. But 30,000 indigos need to start dissolving the false selves that they've created over lifetimes and letting go of that negative energy and balancing out their energy so that they can do the work that they came here to do. 30,000 of you need to do that. And you can do that really quickly and really easily. I have shared it with some of the indigos that are in our Discord, and it's working for them, and they can't even believe how quickly and how fast it's working. So if you want to check out the link in my profile, click my Linktree link in my profile right above there, right up there at the top there, and get the book. It's only it's not a lot of pages because it's really easy to do. And it's very easy to understand. It's $7. Or if you're watching me on YouTube, you can click the link down below here. And hey, Tara, you can click the link down below. And it's the Linktree link. And you will be able to get the book as well. Okay, but it will help you to dissolve the false selves that you created. And once you do that, you was on YouTube first. You didn't say hi. I didn't see nothing coming across the screen. But you can dissolve those selves and really quickly and start doing what you came here to do. Bottom line, start being who you came here to be. Oh, and then you can activate your Merkaba vehicle. What is your Merkaba vehicle? Thank you. hit the like too. Hit that little button there. Tap the screen. If you tap the screen, that'll send the message out that you like the video. But your Merkaba vehicle is what you need. It's unique to you. Every single Indigo has a Merkaba vehicle. Every single one of you. This energy technique, clearing technique, it will clear that energy out for good. You won't even have to deal with it again. You will never have to deal with it again. You can share this technique with your friends, your families. They don't have to be Indigos in order to benefit from clearing their energy. However, I only know about Indigos having a Merkaba vehicle. I don't know who else has one. That's not my, it's not my deal. But your Merkaba vehicle is unique to you as an Indigo. It is unique to your DNA as an Indigo. It came with you when you incarnated here onto the planet as an Indigo, and it is dormant right now, and it needs to be picked up by you. It is dormant, and it is resting at the place where you were born. And you have to actually pick it up and then activate it. But there are things you need to do before you actually activate your Merkaba vehicle. But once you do, it will protect you, and it will protect your energy. So when people say that, you know, you got to protect your energy at all costs, I give you ways to do that. I give you techniques and tools to be able to do and how to protect your energy. Because it's not just about burning sage and Palo Santo wood and putting some rose water, which I have in my house, mind you. This is for my physical objects. These are for my physical objects, not me protecting my energy. So there are new tools and new techniques that you as an Indigo can apply to yourself to protect your energy. It is so important right now for you to protect your energy at all costs. I mean, all costs. This is not the time for you to be dilly-dallying. This is not the time for you to say, oh, yeah, you know, I sage. Okay, great, wonderful. But what are you doing for this? What are you doing for your sixth chakra? What are you doing for your third eye? What are you doing for your chakras? What are you doing for your lower self? How are you protecting that energy? Because once you start to dissolve the cells, dissolve the false cells that are overlaid over your lower self, because right now your lower self is in a position that it's not supposed to be in. Everybody says that, you know, your lower self is in your second chakra. It is, but that's not the position it's supposed to be in. It's supposed to be in your third chakra. It's supposed to be moved up. And so what will start to happen is your lower self will start to elevate. Right now, it's too far down. If you read the book, you'll understand what I'm saying. That's all I can say. Once you, as an Indigo, get the book, it'll start to make sense to you. So if you need to get the book and you don't have the $7, send me an email. My email is in my link tree. If you go to the website, theindigoroom.org, it's $11 on the website. But if you go through my link tree, it's only $7 because you get a little coupon. So that is the end of my TED Talk for the night. I'm logging out, and I will be back tomorrow, hopefully. God willing, and the creek don't rise. That's what my grandfather used to say. And we will continue with reading the rest of the Indigo Elder guidance on sunfell.com. But let's just say I can't get here tomorrow. Don't wait for me. Go read it yourself. Go read it yourself. Sun fell, sun like the sun, and fell like you fell down. Sunfell.com. Click on the link for Indigo files and read it yourself. Then get back to me. Or join us in our Discord. Tara's in Indigo, Lady Tara. She's in our Discord. She's finding all kinds of delicious information. I post there every day. And we have like only 10 of us in there that are active Indigos. And we're looking for the rest of y'all, brothers and sisters. So come on over. Come home. Come home to the blue realm. All right. I love y'all. I got to go. Have a great night. Bye. Night, night, Tara. And thank you for the gifts. Thank you. That's so sweet of you. Thank you very much. Love you. My #1 gifter. Bye.